150 crashes. Live in North Charlotte, David Schumann, Queen City News.
Thanks, David. On a lighter note, it is rare we see this much snow in Charlotte. Whether it's sledding or good old-fashioned snowball fights, people are enjoying themselves. Let's go live now to Positively Charlotte's Liza Mahachek at First Ward Park, who's been catching up with some families taking advantage of the winter wonderland. Liza, how much fun are they having out there?
Oh my gosh, people are having a blast, Caroline. I mean, we've got a couple of people back here sledding, and there were tons of people here this afternoon. Since it's gotten darker and a little bit chillier, a few people have kind of headed out, but people were not letting the idea of not having a sled stop them. There's a yoga mat over here. People are using everything. We saw a guy who's snowboarding back here. He's taking his snowboard and going down the hill. But also, today was all about the snowmen. So I'm going to bring my friend Peyton in over here. So he has been working on making a snowman for virtually like the past 30 minutes. How are the conditions in terms of snowman building today?
I'd say not very great. I mean, I've been rolling this for the last 30 minutes and it's not really changed much.
It's not sticking. So, you know, we talked about how it's like kind of fluffy and powdery, and you've lived in many different places. I know you said you're from New York. How does it compare, the snow here versus in New York? What's the difference?
Well, it melts really quick here. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know, it's a whole different ball game up there.
Yeah, it's very true. So, you know, also I've been getting some specific measurements with my handy dandy pink ruler. So I'm going to give us a little measurement of what it's like right here now in First Ward Park. And actually, if you feel it, it's dense at the bottom, but here we go. We've got about 4 inches here at this point. And you know, the base of this snowman is well over a foot. So I think that we are set up for some success here. I will let you get to continue making your snowman. Thank you, Peyton. We really appreciate you sharing this with us today. And good luck to you with your snowman building. But again, there are so many different places to go. First Ward Park is a great location for people to come and sled, because again, you're seeing people behind us and it is so much fun. But we were going through neighborhoods as well today, and we saw people having snowball fights. Despite it not being packing snow, they still were making away. One man that we were talking to today told me that he was building his snowman with his bare hands. Don't know if I would recommend doing that, but he was saying that it made it a lot easier just because that heat made the snow a lot more buildable and pliable. So people are certainly finding a way to use this however many inches of snow that we have, and it has been so much fun. I'm also going to show you, there are some tracks behind me, and there was an off-roading vehicle that was coming here and doing donuts in the snow. So people are finding ways, even if this isn't common. It's not that they don't know what to do with the snow. They're going to find a way to have fun. So there are plenty of ways to keep on doing that. And also, I've got a tube. I have secured an inner tube, so I'm going to have to go tubing in just a few minutes. Caroline, I'll send it back to you.
Liza, I hope you have fun out there. Thanks so much. And while it is fun for some, the snowfall is causing headaches for airports across the country. This is what things look like earlier today at Charlotte Douglas International. Crews were working to clear off planes and runways. The conditions led to numerous delays and cancellations. Let's take a look at the FlightAware misery map. We're looking at nearly 60 cancellations and another 60 delays at CLT. 22 flights have already been canceled for tomorrow. School leaders are making the call to keep students at home tomorrow as well. Several districts have already canceled classes, including Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools, Gaston County schools, and York School District 1. County offices in our area will also be closed. A full list of those closures is on our website, qcnews.com. The biggest concern on the roads is the dropping temperatures, which could lead to black ice. Governor Josh Stein warned this could create problems for the state's electrical grid. Duke Energy and City of Gastonia officials are already asking folks to reduce their energy use in the coming days. During his press conference this afternoon, Stein said there were about 10,000 power outages reported in the state.
If you lose power, wear layers and sleep with a lot of blankets. Know the signs of frostbite, like losing feeling and color in your fingers, and hypothermia, which creates uncontrollable shivering and disorientation. If someone in your home displays these symptoms, call 911.
Utility companies are also asking people to turn off their lights and unplug appliances when they can. We now know the name of the man killed in Fort Mill in a shooting involving deputies Friday night. That victim was 22-year-old Alan Topet Guevara. Authorities say he died at the scene. SLED is investigating that shooting. For the second time in 24 hours, officials have postponed the clash at Bowman Gray Stadium, but they are determined to go racing this week. Mike Lissette joins us in studio with the latest.
Yeah, determined is the right word. They would have been crazy to go tomorrow. That's another word. There's still too much snow in the Winston-Salem area right now to do anything, so officials have decided the race will now take place on Wednesday. That's going to include all the practice and qualifying that originally was supposed to take place Saturday. Things will get going at 1:30. Last chance qualifying will now take place at 4:30. The race itself will happen at 6. We'll have much more on this coming up tonight on Carolina Sports Live. We also have news on the Raiders coaching search ending. Reports say they did not go with Panthers defensive coordinator Ejiro Evero, so it looks like he'll be sticking around for another year here in Charlotte. Until then, tonight at 10:30, I'm Mike Lissette. Now over to Andrew.
Thanks, Mike. Coming up after the break, talking more about the brutally cold temperatures on the way tonight and what you can expect as we go through this week with my full forecast coming up next.
Plus a snow day at one South Carolina school. Hear from students who say this is the biggest snowfall they've ever seen. You're watching Queen City News, the most honored and the most local news in Charlotte. The conditions yesterday were historic for both North and South Carolina. The kind of snowfall we saw yesterday certainly doesn't happen every day. Julia Keener shows us a look at winter weather in Greenville, South Carolina.
I'm Julia Keener, a reporter in Greenville, South Carolina, looking around the park here where South Carolina hasn't seen this level of snow in years. Take a look at my feet. It was just a couple inches of this dry, powdery snow that wasn't very good to play with. However, it did cause major issues on our roadways over the past couple of weeks. We had SCDOT working to prep, salt, and clear the roads once the snow hit, but a lot like this walking trail next to me, the snow and ice made it very difficult for vehicles or those emergency crews to get by. That's why law enforcement and SCDOT officials are urging everyone to stay home, stay warm, and enjoy this beautiful snow from the inside of their home.
Charlotte area transit system leaders are warning travelers to expect delays and detours this week. In our QCN Plus conversation with communications manager Brett Baldeck, he talked about how the snow will affect services.
Tomorrow, like I said, we're starting service at 10, but we're also suspending at midnight instead of 2 a.m. So you've already made those plans tomorrow to suspend early, get our workers home, make sure that we can anything that maybe melts tomorrow with the sun, if we see any sun, maybe get some salt put down on any black ice or icy spots. So we're definitely planning ahead, and we encourage anyone that uses transit to go to our website or follow us on social media or download our app or watch Queen City News, and we'll be giving out those updates all weekend long.
Bus and Blue Line services started this morning at 10 and will run until midnight. Tomorrow, the buses and Blue Line will not start operating until noon. Express bus services and the Gold Line will not run. You can get updates on the CATS Pass and on CATS social media pages. The kind of snow we saw yesterday certainly isn't common for our region. As Javon McCoskey tells us, it was a rare sight for some Coastal Carolina University students.
When you think of Coastal Carolina University, the beach or maybe even Chauncey are some of the first things that come to mind. But I spoke with students who say that this weekend's weather had them thinking something completely different.
I haven't seen snow in years, so it's actually pretty nice seeing all of it.
On Sunday, Coastal Carolina students woke up to see campus covered in white rather than the usual teal as snow blanketed every inch of the university. CCU freshman and Charlotte, North Carolina native Marko Mijanovic explained that seeing snow on campus wasn't something he envisioned when coming to Conway.
I came here thinking it was going to be like a beach vibe, a summer school. I kind of prepared pretty well. I went grocery shopping, got water, toiletries, all that stuff. But I'm enjoying it. It's lovely out here.
Lovely for some, but not for everyone. Coastal Carolina sophomore Will King explained that he's ready for the snow to be gone.
I wasn't happy about it, I'm gonna be honest. In South Carolina, when it snows, everything shuts down. So it's really just annoying.
While King wants the snow gone, it doesn't seem to be going anywhere early in the week, which is something Mijanovic is looking forward to.
I kind of hope it sticks around a little bit just for the sole purpose so I don't have to go to class on Tuesday. But it is pretty nice to look around. I haven't seen snow in years, so it's actually pretty nice seeing all of it.
You are looking live tonight in Banner Elk. The beautiful snow is on the ground and the temperatures are frigid. Meteorologist Andrew Brightman joins me now. Those frigid temperatures could make way for some messy roads.
Yeah, again, you probably had a similar experience driving in here this afternoon. The highways for the most part are pretty good, but even just main secondary roads, there's still a lot of areas with slush. Maybe if they're relatively shaded, there was not a ton of melting unless it was in direct sunlight through a large portion of this afternoon. And that's what we're concerned about as we head through the evening and overnight hours. Outside King Street in Boone here, they've got some snowy conditions as well. Everyone here across the Carolinas saw a significant snow, but for the most part, kind of the rip-off zone was in and around Raleigh. 33 degrees right now. Northwesterly winds here about 8 to 10 miles an hour. Very dry conditions, and it was a historic snow, 11 inches officially at the airport, which is what is going to go down in the record book here for what we saw from this system. This is the largest snow in Charlotte since February 26, 27, 2004. We weren't that far behind, and this is basically, for most people that are alive, what they last major storm they remember picking up over 13 inches of snow. So sort of in the same ballpark here. Just something you could go, again, 20 years without seeing this type of storm again. Some of the snow reports here will go kind of small to large in terms of totals here. Taylorsville picking up 7 inches, Elk Park 9 inches, Boiling Springs 9.5 inches. Now in around Charlotte, places like Charlotte, Gastonia picking up 11 inches. Then very quickly, we're in the 1 foot club. Salisbury, Cramerton picking up 12 inches of snow. And right now, the Golden Shovel going to Kannapolis, 14.5 inches of snow. To get that much snow, to get the pure powder, temperatures were in the teens while it was snowing. Basically everything has to go right for us. And one of those very rare times you see once every 10, 20 years, it did here across the Carolinas. Pinpoint radar right now is quiet across the region, nothing to worry about here. We zoom out, there's that mega low heading on out to sea. Still a couple of little bit of snow showers near Nantucket, but otherwise we've got dry weather moving in, a bit of a warm front off to our west that's going to be pushing in and helping at least get our temperatures a little bit closer to average. Still getting us back into low to mid 50s doesn't seem like to be in your immediate future. Futurecast overnight, it's going to be cold. We're heading down in the single digits, not really accurately reflecting just how cold it's going to get. We have fresh snowpack, we have clear skies, we got light winds. We're making the beeline here into the single digits across the Carolinas. So anything that's slushy is going to become hard pack very, very quickly. Monday, temperatures start off cold. We'll see those temperatures at least get up into the mid to upper 30s. I mean, we got to 37 today, so I'd say at least getting a degree or two warmer than that. Another freeze, not going to be quite as hard, but still going back down to low to mid 20s. So anything that melts tomorrow, we'll do the same thing with the refreezing. Heading into your Tuesday, we see the clouds increasing. Potentially during the afternoon, might see a couple of showers. A chance of maybe some rain and snow up across the higher elevations, but I think for the most part, it's going to be talking about something liquid, not frozen here for the most part across the Carolinas. Wind chill values, it's going to be really cold again. Wind chill values getting maybe down to close to 0 here east of Charlotte, up in the mountains, maybe 5 to 10 degrees below 0. We do have cold weather advisories in effect for most of the Carolinas. Then heading throughout your Monday, those feels like temperatures going to be still staying chilly here, mid to upper 20s, but at least not a lot of wind across the region. Your pinpoint 7-day forecast here. We've got chilly weather sticking around. I mean, trying to get back towards average here as we get towards the middle part of the week, but not seeing a major warm up here anytime soon. Caroline?
Thanks, Andrew. Chaos in Louisiana after a shooting at a Mardi Gras event near Baton Rouge. The latest details on that investigation. You're watching Queen City News, the most honored and the most local news in Charlotte. Seven people are injured, including a 6-year-old, after a shooting at a Mardi Gras parade in Clinton, Louisiana. Ethan Good tells us more about the investigation.
Authorities are still gathering information, but tell me 5 people, including a 6-year-old child, were injured in a Mardi Gras parade shooting that took place earlier today. Now, let me step out of the frame so you guys can see here. The shooting happened in front of the East Feliciana Parish Courthouse during the Mardi Gras in the Country parade. The parade was set to begin around noon and travel along Church and Main Street, but that route was never reached before shots were fired. Law enforcement quickly secured the scene and shut down the parade once the gunfire erupted. At this time, officials confirmed 3 suspects have been detained. However, investigators say the motive behind the shooting is still unclear. The East Feliciana Parish Sheriff's Office is leading the investigation with assistance from the Zachary Police Department, the West Feliciana Parish Sheriff's Office, and Louisiana State Police.
I can say this, that it was a very unfortunate situation. We had a lot of help here today. We've got all the people out of town and cleared out. We turned the parade around and it never made it to Main Street, and we have the scene secured. And at this moment, the people in Clinton are safe, I believe, and we just continue to work the investigation.
Now, this remains an active investigation, as I said, and authorities are still working to gather information as to what led up to the shooting. We will give you guys more updates as information becomes available. For now, reporting in Clinton for Louisiana First News, I'm Ethan Good.
You're watching Queen City News, the most honored and the most local news in Charlotte. Highways and major roads in and around Charlotte are generally drivable. Now people are concerned about being able to get out of their own neighborhoods. Let's get back now to North Charlotte, where we find Queen City News reporter David Schuman. David, that snow is still piled high where you are.
Yeah, and Caroline, it's gotten a lot darker too, so spotting any slick patches in the roads gets a lot more difficult. Of course, like you said, the road behind me still covered in snow. That's not hard to miss at all. And it makes sense that it's still covered on a smaller residential street like this. The only snow clearing today really came from the sun and cars clearing a path. Because the smaller back roads aren't the highest priority for the city of Charlotte. The city's plows were going after the major roads, as well as routes around hospitals and other key services. The city says crews have been working working around the clock and will continue to do so. Now, the big thing to watch for in the morning is melted snow that freezes overnight. With how cold it's going to be getting, expect those roads for the morning commute to be very icy. Take care. Leave a lot of space between vehicles, a lot of room to start and stop as well. Live in North Charlotte, David Schumann, Queen City News.
Thank you. It is starting to get dark out there, as David mentioned, but families enjoyed a rare and fun snow day. While snow fell across the region, a semi-truck and a train collided in Gastonia. This picture is from the Gastonia Police Facebook page. A train coming through the region crashed into a semi that was stuck on the tracks. Officers say this is exactly why they're telling residents to stay off the roads if you can. Thankfully, we have not gotten any reports of injuries. Even the coast got its fair share of winter weather. Skylar Musick is in Myrtle Beach and shows us the conditions there.
We've been out here since 7 this morning, and the wind feels like it's died down a little bit, but it's still really windy. The last time we checked, it felt like 2 degrees here at Spring May Pier in Myrtle Beach. There is quite a bit of snow on the beach, which is super magical, but I don't think it's blanketing all the sand because of the wind. But we were on the pier, and there was about 2 inches of snow there. We measured it with a ruler. And while we drove here this morning, it was still dark. We only really saw like 3 cars, and we took it slow, not plowed the streets yet, only a little bit salted, but we were safe. If you go under the speed limit and you just watch your surroundings, you'll be okay. We saw like between 10 and 15 people here, I would say. They came to the beach to get pictures of the snow on the beach, of the water, and they left only after 5 minutes, which is really good advice. You don't want to be out here too long, and if you are, please be careful and be as bundled up as you can possibly be.
Federal investigators say NASCAR star Greg Biffle was not the one flying his business jet when it crashed at Statesville Regional Airport. The National Transportation Safety Board has issued its preliminary report on the December 18th crash. The accident killed Biffle, his wife and 2 children, and 3 others. The report shows Biffle's friend, retired airline pilot Dennis Dutton, was flying the plane. While he was an experienced pilot, investigators say Dutton was not qualified for that role. NTSB officials say the plane required 2 trained pilots. Dutton, his son, and Biffle noticed indicator light and gauge malfunctions before and after takeoff. The jet crashed just short of the runway while trying to land at Statesville Airport. All 7 people aboard died. Could take up to 2 years for the NTSB to issue a probable cause for that December crash. Near the Virginia state line in Elizabeth City, heavy snow created tricky conditions on the road for drivers. Michael Rinker tells us what people there woke up to.
Residents in Elizabeth City woke up Sunday morning to a winter wonderland. A lot of that snow fell overnight, making these road conditions tough to drive on, but that didn't stop everyone from getting out in the elements. By sunrise, crews were out trying to clear the roads in Elizabeth City. Route 17 heading into town was completely covered, a tough drive for even the most experienced.
If you don't need to be out there, you don't need to be out there, that's for sure. I'm experiencing this stuff because I did it with tractor trailer for 43 years.
Cecil drove 13 miles from his house to get a warm cup of coffee to fuel a snow day with the great-grandkids.
Everybody stay warm inside, have some fun out there in the yard with the kids, because I got great-grandbabies going to be wanting to get out in a little bit.
Staying in wasn't an option for everyone. Deborah Perkins came in from Virginia Beach. She leads the hospitality efforts at Centera Albemarle. Despite the snow, she wants the hospital fueled up and warm.
That's comforting to people, and we're making sure that we do a big pot of stew today for everybody that's doing the parking lots at the hospital that come in and get a hot meal. We're taking care of everybody today.
Perkins says she didn't know how much of her staff would be able to show up this weekend.
Some people come from Hartford, so they've come in from a long way to drive through the snow to make sure that we could get the lights on, the hot coffee going, and everybody feels like they are taken care of. Warm food on a day like this means so much.
North Carolina's Department of Transportation is still urging people to stay off the roadways for as long as they are covered with snow so their crews can get out and clear those.
It's now starting to get dark out there, but families enjoyed a rare and fun snow day today. Let's go back out to Liza Mahachek at First Ward Park in Uptown Charlotte. Liza, I'm dying to know, did you get on that tube?
I am about to, Caroline. We're about to, go down this slick hill, and I'm not going to lie to you, I'm a little bit scared. This is kind of steep. I've got my friend Reem here who's going to do this with me. So are you ready, girlfriend? All right, I might need your help pushing me. Can you push me? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah! Okay. All right. Okay, that snows good. Okay, I think Reem definitely beat me. She went a lot farther than I did. Yes, great job, girlfriend. So there's so much fun that people are having out here. Have you been sledding all day? What have you been up to?
We've been up to sliding down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we saw a lot of snow.
Did you build a snowman?
Yes, in front of our house.
Fun.
Yeah, and we put a lot of a lot of details on it.
Yes.
And a scarf too.
And a scarf too.
Yeah,
You need a
and then
scarf.
a little carrot on its nose. Yeah,
See, she got all the things.
We put buttons on their eyes and buttons.
Gosh.
Yeah.
She did the classic snowman. I love it. What's been the best part about this snow weekend?
The snow weekend is that we don't have school and that we have more fun about how deep it is, and we have had snow in a long time. Exactly. And yeah, I just fun to have snow a lot.
I know, me too. I'm from Chicago, so I was really excited when we got this much snow. Now, for people who are trying to make a snowman, do you have any tips for them? What's the tips for making a snowman this weekend?
You should put spray water on it before every time you want to build up one part of it, because it keeps slipping.
Yeah.
And yeah, you gotta shape it up good. You gotta do it for if you want, you can do 3 parts of it. Yeah. And 2, because we did 2, it's much easier. We did big, medium, small.
I like it. Yeah. Man, guys, Reem's got the info. You got to come ask her. We're here at First Ward Park. People are still sliding down. It doesn't matter how dark it is. People are still continuing to have fun with all of this snow. But thanks for joining me today, Reem. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Of course.
That was so cute. Coming up after the break, we've got very cold temperatures moving in as we go through the overnight hours. I've got the latest in your pinpoint forecast next.
Queen City News honors Black History Month. Born in Black Mountain, North Carolina in 1937, Roberta Flack rose to become one of the most celebrated soul singers of her generation. Flack won multiple Grammys and left an indelible mark on music with timeless hits like Killing Me Softly and The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. She became the first artist to win the Grammy Award for Record of the Year in consecutive years.
In South Carolina, crews say roads are covered in snow and are dangerous in some areas. Scarlett Lish Jack is in the upstate to show how people are faring in the conditions.
This was the scene on Highway 101 for most of the day Saturday. Low visibility as snow covered the ground, creating a winter wonderland for those who spent the day playing in the snow. But the steady snowfall led to slick road conditions, causing accidents throughout the upstate. One person we spoke with braved the elements to help a friend stuck on the roads.
They're getting slick. I really advise people to stay home. The only reason why we are not home is because we had to come rescue a friend. So otherwise, stay in.
Residents say they are making the most of the rare upstate snowstorm.
Got enough food and stuff to stay at home, enough gas so you can stay warm and go out and have some fun with the kids.
The South Carolina Department of Transportation says they are working around the clock to keep these roads as safe as possible. We're told thousands of workers and hundreds of vehicles are deployed across the state.
We started 24-hour operations yesterday. We've got about 3,000 employees that are fully engaged right now, working to plow, de-ice, and try to keep the roadways as safe as possible right now. 1,200 pieces of equipment out and about across South Carolina. Just to put in context, we've already put down nearly 1 million gallons of brine to help treat the roads and try to keep them open, and we'll be working on it through the duration. It's going to be an effort over the coming days.
Despite being busy, first responders across the region had some fun during the snow day. That includes Charlotte firefighters who decorated their firehouse with snowmen. And it wasn't just Charlotte crews that got in on the fun. Police officers in Belmont joined families to make some snow day memories. They went sledding thanks to a unicorn pool float. We want to thank all of our first responders who've risked their safety to go out and help the community during this snowy weather. Humans aren't the only ones getting a chance to enjoy the winter weather. Take a look at these animals hanging out in the snow. The animal park at the Conservators Center in Caswell County sent out these pictures. The animals are wolves and a tiger just basking in that snow. One Garner man is getting creative and taking advantage of the freezing temperatures. Before the snow started to fall, professional ice sculptor Todd Dawson created Kitty, the ice snow leopard. He started the process Friday night with several chunks of ice, melting the blocks together, and then he started sculpting away. He finished the entire leopard yesterday. That is pretty impressive.
I'm kind of ready to get in and get a cup of hot chocolate and a sausage biscuit.
It's cold out here.
Yeah, the wind's a little chilly for sure.
Dawson says age will not stop him from having fun during a winter storm. Let's switch back over to the weather now. I'm joined by meteorologist Andrew Brightman. Andrew, I know that the two of us, since we had to be on the roads to get into work, we can attest to the fact that things can get a little dicey out there.
Yeah, not as dicey as the drive-in yesterday. That was not fun, but we made it here. Oh, we talked about so much yesterday. If you don't have all-wheel drive and SUV, you will not make where you were going. I even saw some cars abandoned on the highway yesterday as I was driving home, some sedans. And it's still, as you were saying, Caroline, it's slick out there. A lot of the slush that is on the roadway right now doesn't seem so bad. It is going to freeze and freeze very, very hard here as we go through the overnight. Probably by the time you guys tune back in with us tonight at 10, we're going to see temperatures down in the middle 20s here across the Carolinas. 33 degrees currently, winds out of the northwest at about 8 miles an hour. Very dry conditions here as we start to see this cold air really moving in as we go throughout the overnight hours. Pinpoint radar, not much going on. We zoom out here. Notice that area of low pressure moving out to sea, and you can see as we turn the water vapor imagery, all of this moisture, this energy that was flowing into that storm. I was really wrapping up. We called it a bomb cyclone, dropping 24 millibars in 24 hours. Now behind it, just a lot of dry air in northwest flow, and that means some cold temperatures here across the southeast. Now down to 30 here in Charlotte, 21 in Knoxville, 28 in Wilmington. Actually, Wilmington's colder than what we have currently here in Charlotte, and we're going to see a lot of black ice tonight. Anything that is wet is going to refreeze, and it's going to be very difficult to see as we go through the evening and overnight hours. Please just give yourself a little bit extra time. Be very careful where you're stepping if you're out and about tonight. Futurecast in motion here as we go through the overnight hours. Temperatures at least getting down into the low teens. I would expect low temperatures down into the single digits here in the QC. And as we go throughout your Monday, we'll get above freezing. We'll see a lot more melting, and the roadways probably Most roadways will get probably back to normal here by the end of the day tomorrow, but still just got to be careful out there. Heading into the afternoon, temperatures at least into the upper 30s. Wouldn't be shocked if we're close to a 4 handle here in Charlotte. Overnight Monday, heading into your Tuesday, it's another cold start out there. Temperatures back down into the low to mid 20s, though not quite as cold as what we're going to see tonight. Hanging throughout the day, you see some of those clouds building on in and the potential for some showers as we head through the evening and overnight hours. Let's talk wind chills real quick here. Later on tonight, down to maybe 10 to 15 degrees below zero. Not quite as intense for our mountain viewers, but elsewhere here, still potentially feeling like the single digits to around zero. Probably most schools are probably still out tomorrow again because of the storm, but anyone that does have to head to school, they do need to be bundled up in a big, big way. And as we go throughout your Monday here, feeling a little bit more comfortable, but still dealing with those chilly, feels like temperatures. As for tonight, it is going to get cold. We got clear skies, we got light winds, we got fresh snowpack on the ground. These are all ingredients for a very, very chilly night here across the Carolinas. Dipping down to at least 10, I think 9 could be in the cards here in Charlotte. Albemarle picking up, getting down to about 4 degrees, 6 in Wadesboro, 7 in Rockingham. It is going to be cold. And again, some of those snow reports today, this is going to be one of the reasons why we see such cold temperatures here across the Carolinas, like Kannapolis picking up 14.5 inches of snow. Pinpoint 7-day forecast here. We are watching at least sunshine. A lot of melting is going to get underway here starting on your Monday as we head towards the middle part of the week, tracking some showers on the way potentially Tuesday night and into your Wednesday. Caroline?
Thanks, Andrew. You're watching Queen City News, the most honored and the most local news in Charlotte. A Florida teacher is getting help from one of her colleagues to overcome her 8-year battle with kidney disease. Mayra Neves is recovering from last month's kidney transplant surgery. She received the new organ from another teacher in the Hillsborough County Public School District. Jenna Fulkin says she saw a social media post that Neves needed a kidney. Fulkin also noted they share the same blood type, so within hours she signed up to be a donor. Then Fulkin emailed Neves to tell the fellow teacher she was getting a new kidney.
I saw she was O positive. I'm like, I'm O positive. And I thought I could do this.
If God opened this door, I needed to walk through with faith, knowing that God was going to provide.
Fulkin is back in her classroom. Neves is on medical leave, but has been back to tell her students she's on the road to recovery. You're watching Queen City News, the most honored and the most local news in Charlotte.
You know the drill here, Caroline. Let's close this out in style. One final check in your pinpoint 7-day forecast. Could see a couple of showers moving in late Tuesday. Really, if we're going to see anything in Tuesday, probably be up in the mountains here. Chance of a little bit of snow across the higher elevations, though. Really expecting a little bit of shower activity as we get to your Wednesday. Later on in the week, I mean, temperatures somewhat more seasonal here for early February, but still not seeing really that warm weather, above average temperatures anytime soon, as sort of this incredibly cold January that was paid off with now the 11 inches of snow yesterday continues here right into the month of February, Caroline.
Maybe some of that rain will help clear out the remaining snow that we've got
It'll probably be mostly gone here by the time we get to, if not completely gone by the time we get to Thursday. So the big plow piles will be around, but that'll probably be it.
All right, well, everyone stay safe and enjoy it while it's sticking around. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight at 10 on Queen City News.